相手をよく観察すること、戦いの基本だわさ。
よーし、みんな行くぞ。
Biscuit is the third and final character we'll be covering from the first DLC character pack. Biscuit's technical moveset allow her to become extremely powerful in the hands of a skilled player, but less so for an amateur player. Biscuit Krueger, or Bisky as she prefers, comes from the world of Hunter x Hunter. Bisky was tasked with clearing the video game Green Island and is a double star hunter in the world. This means that she's quite powerful. What makes her even stronger is her reverting to her true form, which is much larger and muscular than she appears initially. She disguises herself this way to make her opponents underestimate her power. Bisky's first ability is called I Feel Like Messing You Up Good. I'm assuming this is a quote from the show. This ability is a dash attack super which deals respectable damage, but is best used to finish a combo because it doesn't scale down as much as some other abilities. It does cost 2 bars of energy, which is the biggest drawback for this ability, meaning that whenever you use it, you'll have to charge for energy or combo without it for a while. The higher cost is a nice balance for this ability's relative power. It's a very powerful move to counter attack when the opponent is channeling certain attacks, such as Rasengan or Kamehameha. The fast long range dash helps this ability in making it more reliable to land in any instance, so long as the opponent has no opportunity to guard. This is one of those abilities that can very easily catch an opponent when they're in the recovery for their pink escape. Biscuit's second ability is called Ten-Ko. This ability is quite interesting. It's actually 2 abilities in one. When Bisky activates his ability, she will spend 1 bar of energy and apply a passive buff to herself, increasing attack power and physical resistance. This buff is indefinite and will only vanish if the round ends or if Bisky activates Ten-Ko again. If Bisky activates Ten-Ko again, while she already has the buff active of course, she will instead perform a close range energy attack which can break through an opponent's guard. Using this will remove the buff from Bisky, meaning you'll have to reactivate it for her. I personally don't use this too much, however it's very good to use as a mix-up during pressure. Bisky's third ability is called Finely Honed Body. Much like the rest of Bisky's kit, this ability takes an interesting spin on some mechanics already present in the game. Finely Honed Body is a counter attack. When this ability is activated, Bisky enters a state for about 3 or 4 seconds. If the opponent lands a hit on Bisky in this time, she'll pop them up, allowing her to follow up with a combo of her own. Once again, this ability costs 2 bars of energy to use, however the payoff is much more versatile than most counter attacks which just confirm a high amount of damage. So Bisky can confirm high amounts of damage with her own combo after the counter as opposed to just the counter doing the high damage. Bisky's awakened ability is called Too Macho. Bisky dashes forward with decent range and speed. Upon connecting with the opponent, Bisky will unveil her true macho form where she unleashes a powerful attack dealing a large amount of damage. Because of the standard dash starter for this ability, it is very easy to land especially after a combo. Whilst the dash speed isn't as fast as Bisky's first ability, it's still reliable in most if not all circumstances. Treat this ability like any other awakened ability, look to use it as a combo finisher, especially after following up with a finely honed body hit. For assist, Bisky uses the attack portion of her Ten-Ko ability, so the Ko part. When the assist is activated, Bisky dashes quickly towards the opponent to use his attack. For balancing purposes, Ten-Ko is not unblockable in its assist as it is in Bisky's regular moveset. Upon landing, this ability will send the opponent flying away, making it good for creating space but bad for combo opportunities. In my eyes, this is not a good assist. I find that the best assists in this game are the ones that are easiest to allow for combos. That's not to say that some other assist types can't be helpful in certain situations. So I would never pick Biscuit for her assist. When I play as Bisky, there are 2 approaches I can make when beginning a fight. On the one hand, begin with aggression as Biscuit is very good at this. Or you can play the long game, create some space and get your Ten-Ko buff online, as Bisky is much more threatening when this is active. Having Ten-Ko active as much as possible is a must for Bisky, as it makes the higher costs of her abilities more plausible. With simple combos, Bisky can do some threatening damage, and that's before you take the time to really master her moveset and combos. Bisky's first ability is her only consistent combo ender, which is very easy to land, and so the other abilities are mostly situational. When you have Ten-Ko buff applied, I'd advise that you only remove it when it's absolutely necessary, as the 1 bar cost for such a strong buff is invaluable. And Bisky's counter is very good if you're wanting to confirm into her awakened ability. On the surface, Bisky's moveset is very straightforward, a dash, a buff and a counter, but Bisky's potential for a more advanced player make her outright overpowered. The order and situations in which you use her abilities are very simple, but mastering her longer combos with assists and high ability costs make her incredibly powerful in the right hands. Bisky is slightly harder to recommend than most characters because her moveset is a bit more technical in its design. It's not one thing or another, it's very all-rounded but restrictive in a weird way. I personally enjoy this character a fair amount, although I haven't encountered many characters in this game I actively don't enjoy. Her assist leaves a lot to be desired, but her core moveset is so powerful if you can manage your energy correctly. Guys, this has been the character overview for Biscuit Krueger. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.